one last topic I want to touch on before we dive into the demo is user compliance regulations and how to build your SMS list while meeting compliance standards. Time and time again, we hear that this is a big barrier for customers to get started with SMS marketing as a channel. Like, how do I build this list? What compliance do I have to meet? How hard is it regulated? And how do I overcome this challenge? So I'm really happy to jump into how you can overcome this barrier and get started with your SMS lists. So there are 3 different forms of SMS communication with different consent requirements. The first message type is conversational, which just means that the customer has initiated the messaging. This is most often occurs through the use of mobile keyword campaigns and is the point of least friction when acquiring an SMS subscriber, as consent is automatically implied since they messaged you first. That being said, we do have some best practices for the automated responses to a submitted mobile keyword, such as this one example given here, subscribe, on the next slide that we will go over in detail. The next message type is transactional, and this messaging is similar to transactional email messaging, where the content is update oriented in nature and is triggered by a customer event. These messages still require customer consent, and they need a place for the customer to be able to manage these notifications and opt out at any point in time. Lastly, we also have the promotional messaging, which seems to be the use case that most attendees here today are to learn about. And this is things like check out our blowout sale, like ends tomorrow, or the example of Walmart updating customers, letting them know when their rollbacks are happening. So in this case, written permission needs to be expressed and required before a consumer can receive a text message. So this means that you need to have the opt-in checkbox with all of your terms and conditions and privacy regulations that the customer has signed off on before you can even message them. That being said, here are some best practices that we suggest when using mobile keywords, because mobile keywords is the point of least friction in terms of regulating compliance as well as gaining SMS list users. We definitely suggest that you create a global unsubscribe such as stop. And we also suggest that you create a mobile keyword for help or some sort of verb to indicate help. Obviously, if a customer is indicating help, the option or automated response to that help message should be a way in which the customer can get in contact with you outside of SMS, because clearly it's a struggle for them. So if a customer texts help, the automated message to show up should be something like an email where they can contact your help or support center, and or a telephone call where they can talk to an agent live and figure out what's going on with these SMS subscriptions. For all mobile keywords, you always include an auto-generated follow-up message. Best practices state that this should include your business name and description, that help instruction option again, the opt-out instruction, as well as disclosure that messages will be reoccurring and frequent. If you have a standard frequency, definitely include it, but if not, just let them know that more will be coming, and language associated about fees or charges. If you have yet to start with SMS messaging, but it's something that you're looking forward to doing in the future, and you have existing customer acquisition forms, whether it be for emails or other forms of your CRM, and as part of that form, customers are submitting their phone number, we strongly suggest that put in now, after this webinar today, go add the opt-in form for SMS messaging to that form, because it will give you a heads up and a head start with a SMS user base when you're ready, or if you're ready to get started with SMS as a marketing channel.